Thank you for joining Aunties Sewing Kits for Block 7 of Solare Block of the Month. The fabric's done by Banyan Batiks, and we are getting close. We're at 7 already, so wow. Time flies. This one is a lot. I think this is the most fabric you get in one block for the month. So it's a lot to do, but nothing too difficult. It's all pretty easy. Some of it we've already done in previous, so it should go pretty smoothly. I'll start by showing you the block. It's a big one. That's why you got so much fabric. And then there are 4 blocks too. So 4 of these. Isn't it just gorgeous? So this is block 7. See, I got it pinned there, block 7. We have 4 of them. I'm just going to put this aside. We'll reference back to it. Actually, I think I'm going to leave it out here this time. There we go. I know you won't be able to see the whole thing the whole time, but we can reference it from there. All right, so the first block we're doing is flying geese, and we're doing the no waste flying geese. Now in block number 2, I did an extensive portion on how to do the flying geese. So I'm still going to show you today, but it's going to be a little bit quicker of a version. So if you need a little bit more in depth, go back and rewatch block 2, and that'll give you that. Well, let's get started. So we started step 1 is not that one. So step 1 we have, what do we have on step 1? We have this one here. So we have fabric number 7 and fabric number 6. Now since I've got this all laid out to show you and stuff, I double marked because there's a lot going on. So this is fabric 6 and this is fabric 7. So to sew these, it's really, really easy. We are going to take, I'm just going to set these here for a second. We're going to take fabric 6 and fabric 7. So I'm going to grab one of these. All right, so we just need one of these. And then the number 6, you do the cut with the pattern. You do reverse and then you do the right side. But again, with the batiks, sometimes it's really hard to tell which side's which, so it doesn't really matter as much. But if you were using something other than batiks, it would really matter. So you can cut them all the same. And again, when I made this pattern for this, I copied it. I put it on a piece of thin cardboard, not real heavy cardboard. And then I cut around it and made an exact pattern, and then I taped the pattern to it so I would have that. So any way you guys want to do it is fine. Sometimes it's easier to take a plastic sheet pattern piece and lay it on there and draw it out and trace it and have a template. And then with that template you can draw around. I think there's even probably some template already out there that you could measure up, but I just did it that way. It was easier. So with this one, we're going to take one of the number 6 fabrics and we're going to sew it to each side. So we're going to sew this side first. So that side first is going to give us this one. So we're going to sew it 1/4 inch and then we're going to iron it really good. But remember, we're not going to do this with the iron. We're going to do this with the iron. And then once we sew that side, then we can put this one on this side and sew it down, making one of these. Now we need, I believe, 8 of these for these because we do have several blocks. Okay, so once we get all 8 of those done, which that's pretty simple, just make sure it lines up, do one side, then do the other. And if you're chain piecing, it's going to go by really quickly. Easy peasy. Alright, so let me move these out of the way. So we're done with that for just right now. Okay, so then the next, we're going to repeat, but we're going to do it with different colors. So we're going to use fabric 14 and fabric 12 and fabric number 4, I believe. Yep, fabric number 4. So we're going to do the exact same thing, but this time we are going to put This is 4. So this is number 12 fabric. We're putting on the side of the square like we did with the fabric 7 and fabric 6. So we got 12 on one side and then 12 on the other, and then we got fabric number 14 on this side and fabric 14 on this side, so reverse it. Once you get those done, which I think there are 4 of each or 2 of each, I'm not clear, I'd have to read that, but it'll tell you how many you need. So once you get that done, then you'll move on to step 3. There's a lot of steps on this one, several. So now we're back to the flying geese. So again, if I don't go over it in depth because I did it in block of the month 2, so you can go back and reference that if you need to. Put this back in here to get rid of these. Go. So the flying geese, we are going to take, for this block, we're going to take fabric 6 and fabric 10. So this one, we take these little squares and we draw a line down that little square on all 4 of them. So you need 4 of them for this. Then we're going to take a large square of fabric 10 and we're going to lay it so it goes here, it's going to overlap and then go here. Then we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on the side of this line, and we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on this side. Once we get that 1/4 inch, we're going to cut this down the middle. So let me show you another block that I've done that with. This one, I think. So there we go. So yeah, we're making several of these. So this one's fabric 10 and fabric 14. So once you cut that down the middle, then we're going to, so this would be the middle. This is where you would have made that cut on that other one. Then we flip this open and iron that down really good. Then we're going to take one more block, we're going to put it where the line goes this way, and we're going to sew a 1/4 inch on each side of that line once again. Once we get the 1/4 inch on each side, we're going to cut this down the middle again. Now before I cut down the middle, I always iron it to set the seam and make sure it's all relaxed before I do that. So once that is done, it would have, trying to figure out. So then we're going to cut that down. We'll flip this over and see, now we have one here. This is cut apart and we have one there. Let me just cut that apart for you and I'll show you that real quick, how that comes apart. You don't need a ruler, but it's easier. So I'm going to cut that apart, and now we're going to take it to the ironing and we're just going to press that seam open, and now this is what we got, our no waste flying geese. So now with those couple little easy steps, we've got 4 flying geese. So there we go, and that's with fabric 14 and fabric 10. Alright, so now we got those flying geese. Then we're going to make this 4 flying geese with fabric 12 and fabric 3. And you know, you can chain these. You don't have to sew them one at a time. I chained all one side and then chained all the other side and then did it, and it comes out really quickly. So then on step 7, we're going to make square and a square with fabric 5 and fabric 15. So we've got these and this. So we've got the triangle, or the square, and then we've got triangles. So with these triangles, we're going to take one triangle and put it on each side, and then we're going to press it. Then we're going to take triangles and put them on this side and then press it open. Now before I sewed the triangle on just to make sure everything lines up. I do look for the brighter side if there is one. I can't really tell. But fold the right sides together. Get a nice little crease here. Just a small finger press. And then we're going to take the triangle, and you can fold the triangle in half and do the same thing, but you want right sides together, and then you can't see this crease, but I can. I'm going to put that point right on that crease, and then I'm going to put it all the way down here because I want to make sure that point is exactly there. I'm going to sew that on, and then I'm going to spin it around, sew the other side on, take it to the ironing, iron it flat, and then do the same thing with the other side. And that will give you a nice square and a square. Then we're going to lay this one here this way, and we're going to lay this one here going this way because we want it the opposite direction. We're going to do 4 of each of these. Then once we sew it together, we'll have 4 sewn this way, and we'll have 4 sewn this way. Then I take it to the ironing board and I relax the seam. Then what you need to do is trim this off at 1/4 inch. So when I do that, I'm just going to scooch this down for a second here. When I do that, grab this a little bit easier. Okay. Then I'm just going to take a ruler at 1/4 inch mark. So the ruler at the 1/4 inch mark, you can eyeball this. It doesn't have to be exact, but I'm just going to measure it there. And then I'm just going to whisk that off. I'll save that for scraps. Then we're going to take this and we're going to iron it. But remember, we want to iron to the dark side, so this one is going to go this way. And we're going to iron it. And then it's going to give us those, and I will bring those back so you can see what I'm talking about. So it's going to give us these ones here that I've already pressed. So that's pretty easy. So let's move these out of the way now. So we'll have 4 going one direction and 4 going the other direction. This one's fabric 6 and this one's fabric 2. All right, so that was step 8. Now we're on step 9. So step 9 is now starting to put the whole thing together. So we are going to take these actually. I shouldn't have put them away so quickly. I'm going to take these, and we need one going this direction and one going that direction. So these ones are going to get sewed onto some flying geese. So fabric 14 and fabric 10. So fabric 14 and fabric 10. Okay. And here they are. So we're going to take these apart, and this one is going to go with it facing this way, and then we are going to do this one with it facing this way, and we're going to sew those together like that, and that is going to give us this piece here and this piece here. So see how we almost have our whole row there? If I take these 2 pieces and these 2 pieces, and then I put this square and a square on it. All right, so that's the middle row. Now we go on to the next row, which I think we're going to do the bottom row now, or part of it. So we need step 5, which step 5 is this one. It's fabric 14 in fabric 4, Flying Geese, and then we also need this one, which is step 6. It's fabric 12 and fabric 3, Flying Geese, and we're going to take those and sew them together point to point. And when we do that, we are going to get this block right here on the bottom. Now we're going to go on and do the next portion, which I think is this block. We're going to sew the fabric 6 on top. So we have fabric 6 triangle. And then we have the Flying Geese, fabric 6 and fabric 10 Flying Geese, 6 and 10. Here we go. That would be this one, which I don't know that I cut one apart all the way for this one. I did not make this one fully, but it'd be the Flying Geese using this fabric. And then we would sew it, pretend this is that fabric right here. And we are going to sew it just like that with the point up on there and sew it. But it's going to be with this color here. So it'll be the fabric 10 and the fabric 6. So it's just going to sew together. Then we're going to, I saved that so I could show you how to put that together, so I didn't have one. But that's okay, you guys get that part right. So then we got fabric 6. Then what we're going to do is we are going to take step 1, which was the, step 1 was this one. Fabric 6 and fabric 7. So we got fabric 6 and fabric 7 for step 1. And we are going to turn it like this. See, it's like that. Then we're going to put our this one with the Flying Geese attached to it here. And then this one's going to go here, and we're going to sew those 3 together. And that's going to make this row. Okay, then we're going to do the bottom row. And the bottom row is going to be these 2, because they are, remember, they're made differently. So this one is going to be on, to figure out which side I got, this side, and this one's on this side. Because on this one we want both of the fabric 12s on the bottom, and we want the fabric 14 on the top. And then we're going to put the 2 Flying Geese in the middle, which is the ones that I actually put together here. So we have this one. There we go. So then we got the bottom row. So providing that piece, because I don't have one completely made, we have our whole thing just to sew together. So we're going to put that one there, we're going to put that one there. I'm going to scooch this one down, and then we're going to put this in the middle. Now remember, when you're sewing these guys together, these ones are sewed on the line. We've sewed so many before this, a 1/4 inch on this side and a 1/4 inch on this side for the Flying Geese. Don't forget to not be on autopilot and sew on the line on this one. Otherwise you're going to be taking a lot out. That goes on this side. That one goes on this side. All right, and then we've got this one here, which is up, and this one here that is up. All right, I'll scooch that a little bit, scooch that a little bit. And we don't have the other Flying Geese put together that goes here, but it will look just like this one here. not too difficult, lots of steps, but refer back to block 2 of the month if you have issues with the flying geese, because I go into much more depth on that one than I did on this one. And then you just need to make, I think, what I say, 4 of them? Yeah, we got 4 of them. So 4 of these, and they go to bed quickly, and then we can get on to block 8. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you've already got some blocks together, please post it, share on Facebook. We'd love to see what you've got done so far. If you've liked this video, give us a like so you can see all the future videos for this block. And also, we actually got this one quilted, finally. So I wanted to show you. I know I had this on here before, but it wasn't quilted. But we put a little coffee motif on there. It's kind of whimsical. I love whimsical things. See the coffee cup with the steam coming out? Isn't that just darling? I just love that. Cute little whimsical things. So we still do have some quilt kits left for this one. So if you'd like it, you can order the kit on auntiessewingkits.com. So don't forget to give us a like and subscribe and ring my bell. And we will see you back here next month with block 8. Oh my goodness, we are just marching right along, aren't we? So this is the Solare block of the month, and again, this is going to look like this when we're done. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next month.